Hello guys and welcome to today's reading. So today we have a pick a card reading. So in front of you, you see three cards. We have the Great Teacher, the Seer, and the White Witch. So what I want you to do is take a deep breath and allow yourself to become present and think about the situation that has been on your mind recently. Now, this could be love or family, it could be career and finances, or it could just be spiritual growth and trying to figure out your next chapter. So feel free to pause the video if you need more time. And also timestamps will be below to make it easier to jump straight to the card that you chose. So we're going to start the reading with the first card, which is the Great Teacher. And the stone with this is Adventurine. So I'm going to speed up this part of the video just to make it easier. But if you chose the Great Teacher Oracle card, the message here is to learn from spiritual experiences. So immediately I am feeling that many of you have been through a season that has probably tested your patience, your faith, and perhaps even your trust in the timing of your life. Your life may have felt unpredictable and you may have questioned if you were on the right path. But Spirit wants you to know that nothing you've experienced has been wasted. This card can represent a teacher in your life or the great teacher within. Either way, it shows that you have dedicated a lot of time, effort, and energy into understanding yourself and the world. You may be having spiritual experiences at this time and gaining a greater awareness of what you need to do in order to grow. If you feel like you've been receiving messages from heaven or the universe, especially recently, then this card is a confirmation that these have been a holy experience. So the first card in your main reading is the Four of Cups. So this card tells me that some of you have been feeling emotionally disconnected from a situation. Perhaps you've been waiting for an opportunity or communication, waiting for answers or movement. So I feel like there's a little bit of a challenge here. Maybe you've been focusing too much on something that hasn't happened yet. So Spirit is showing me that there may actually be opportunities around you that you've overlooked because disappointments have been occupying your attention instead. It feels like someone saying, when is my breakthrough coming? When's my person coming? When will things finally change? And Spirit says that your attention is about to shift. And you've done your waiting. It's now time to start seeing the rewards. I also feel like a few of you could be a little bit worried about taking an opportunity because something hasn't worked out in the past. So on this card, he's tried something 3 times and he's being offered another opportunity, but he's almost hesitant to take it because it hasn't worked in the past. So he's kind of hesitant. He's like, well, why should I try again? This card is telling you that you should try again. Just because things haven't worked in the past doesn't mean they're not going to work now. And then next we have the Two of Pentacles. Now, many of you are probably juggling too much. Now, this could be finances, responsibilities, work or family obligations, or maybe even just multiple decisions. You're trying to keep everything balanced, but it is exhausting you, and I feel like you're questioning why. But I do get the sense that you've been managing things far better than what you're giving yourself credit for. Others may not even realize how much you've been carrying, but I'm here to remind you of how far you have already come and how much strength it has taken you to carry this alone. It's not weak to ask for help from time to time. If anything, it shows strength to know that when help may be needed. So this card is telling you to ask for help if you need it. And next we have the Four of Pentacles. Now what is interesting here is that this card often appears when we're trying to hold too tightly on something. Now this could be a plan, it could be a relationship. an expectation, or maybe it is just your comfort zone. Spirit says you've been trying to create security by controlling the outcomes. But the universe is about to show you that true security comes from trusting yourself, not controlling everything around you. Not all outcomes can be controlled, but we can dictate how we handle them. It's time to let go of some of that control and trust that the universe has your back. And now we have the Tower. Now this card is the one that most people hate. I've even heard people say that they're scared of the Tower coming out in their reading, but I don't see this card as fear, especially in this reading. It feels liberating. It feels like a truth being revealed, a realization, a breakthrough. Something unstable is finally collapsing. So for some of you, this could be a belief that you've held on to for too long. For others, it could be a situation that has been delaying your progress. The energy feels less like destruction and more like freedom. Spirit keeps showing me a locked door swinging open. Something is about to suddenly change, and while it might surprise you, I feel like ultimately it's going to work in your favor. So often we need the Tower moment to clear the air and to build again, but from more strong and stable foundations. And then we have the Three of Wands. So after the Tower comes expansion. This kind of proves my point. The card tells me that you're about to start seeing what's possible beyond your current circumstances. So this could show up as new opportunities, new directions, and for some of you, travel may be significant. For others, this could simply be a wider perspective. You're beginning to realize that life is bigger than the limitations that you've been experiencing. The change you have been waiting for is a lot closer than you think. And then lastly, we have the Two of Wands. Now with the Two of Wands, this is a card of standing at a crossroads. So Spirit says you have a choice and it's soon going to present itself. But unlike previous choices, this one feels exciting. It feels like possibility and it feels like growth. The choice is going to arrive suddenly, but you'll feel the excitement and a shift in the energy around you. So this choice feels a lot more aligned with your spiritual growth. And I'm actually excited for this for you. I feel like it has been a long time coming, so enjoy what it has to offer. Also with this card, this man is stood at the top of his castle. He has the whole world in his hands, and that's what I want you to take from this card, is you have the whole world in your hands. So the outcome here feels like transformation. The thing you've been resisting may actually be the thing that's setting you free. So embrace it wholeheartedly. What first appears to be a disruption becomes a blessing in disguise. Spirit is saying, trust the changes. They are creating the future that you've been asking for. I really love this for you, and I look forward to hearing all about it in the comments over the coming weeks. I believe there's very exciting times ahead. And if you picked card number 2, we have the Seer. So I'm just going to speed up the video here, guys, so we can get straight into the reading. So if you pick the Seer card, the message here is to see beyond your current situation. Now this is powerful because Spirit is telling you not to judge your future based on your present circumstances. What you've experienced right now is not the whole story. So this is a reminder to not let your ego or doubts play games with you. Instead of feeling stuck and lost, know that you're in an energetic holding space while the universe recalibrates the path that is more in favor for you. So angels of light are upgrading your energy so your experiences can be more enjoyable And you're moving towards something extremely uplifting and enlightening. So stay calm and keep your eyes on the prize. And then the first card in your main reading is the Star. And this is one of the most beautiful cards in the tarot. So the Star appears after the Tower in the order of the cards. It represents healing, renewal, hope, divine guidance. So for many of you, life has felt a little bit difficult recently. Perhaps you've experienced disappointments, loss, delays, uncertainty, maybe even heartache. But Spirit wants you to know that healing has already begun. Even if you cannot fully see it yet, trust in yourself at this time and let yourself feel the emotions if they surface, rather than trying to avoid them. After all, we need to feel in order to heal. So next we have the Judgment card. Now, something is awakening within you. This card speaks of rebirth, second chances, spiritual awakenings, or life-changing perspectives. This feels like a moment where you finally understand something that has previously confused you. It's almost like a light bulb turning on. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. And once you feel it, you will automatically know. The people on this card are basically standing in their coffins, and the angel is calling them out of there. So in order to start your new life, you need to kind of come out of that comfort zone that you've been used to being in. And then we move on to the Empress. Now, this is a gorgeous energy. This is the card of abundance, growth, creativity, and self-worth. It's also a very nurturing energy, and I kind of see her as the mother figure in the tarot. I feel like many of you have spent so much time caring for others that you've kind of forgotten to nurture yourself. But Spirit is advising me that your relationship with yourself is becoming a lot healthier. As that happens, your external world will begin reflecting that change, and wonderful things begin to flourish and grow. And then we move straight on to the Ten of Wands. Now, you've definitely been carrying too much. This card feels heavy. Some of you are exhausted, and this could be emotionally, mentally, or even physically. You're trying to do everything at once. And Spirit says it's time to put some of those burdens down. Not everything is yours to carry alone. So the man on this card is carrying these wands, and because they're right in front of him, he literally cannot see what's ahead of him. But if he was just to put those down just for a second, he would see his house in front of him. And his house is basically in the tarot his finishing line. Inside there is a big harvest waiting for him. But all the time he has these wands in front of him, he's not able to see what is right in front of him. So it's time to set some of these wands down and ask for help if you need to. There's no shame in asking for help. And next we have the Knight of Swords. Now this card is forward movement and taking action. The card often brings news and communication. Something you've been waiting for may arrive sooner than you expect. The energy here is very fast. And I feel like it could be conversations or emails, phone calls, maybe even decisions. Whatever it is, momentum is finally returning. So keep your eyes open for in the next couple of weeks, because I feel like there's an important message, and one that you've probably been expecting. This feels like good news that you probably don't want to miss out on. And now we move on to the Nine of Swords. Now, many of you have been worrying and losing sleep, overthinking, and probably imagining the worst case scenarios. But Spirit says that your mind has been creating storms that your reality never intended to deliver. Half the time, what we worry about never materializes. There was actually a study done that said 83% of the things we worry about never actually happen. So Spirit's asking you to try and calm your mind and concentrate on the things around you that are happening rather than the things that could happen. So the overall message here I'm getting is the healing that you've been seeking is arriving. The burdens you've been carrying are coming to an end. And I feel like a new chapter is about to open up. And it is much brighter than what you currently imagine. Spirit is telling me that the blessings are already on their way to you. So this feels like a very positive reading, and I hope you guys enjoyed that message. Brighter days are definitely on the horizon, so watch out for them. Hi guys, if you picked the third card, the White Witch, this message is for you. So the message here says, be the light. I'm going to quickly speed up the reading so we can get straight into it. I dropped a card there, so obviously that wants to come out. So immediately I feel a strong manifestation energy. The card feels like you have done significant inner work. So you've learned lessons, you've grown, and now you're entering a reward cycle. This card is also a reminder that no matter what is happening to you or around you, you have a choice. Choose not to be pulled into dramas, bickering, or energies that are just going to limit your joy. If you are surrounded by people who are hostile towards you or somebody else, then you're in a negative situation. You are an incredible person who can really bring out the light. So how can you change the energy? How can you redirect the conversation to love? Know also that you are being encouraged to shine the light that you were born to share. So we obviously have two cards for this first part of the reading. We have the Wheel of Fortune, which is destiny moving forward. Things are shifting, events are aligning. The card often appears when life is preparing to surprise us in a way. The wheel is turning in your favor is what I believe the message is trying to say. So what might have felt stuck begins moving, but you need to be willing to allow it to happen. I think many of us fear change, but this change is more aligned to what you should be doing. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles. Now, this card tells me that many of you have been working incredibly hard. You've become stronger, more independent, more confident, and you've built something that's valuable. Whether that's financial stability, self-worth, wisdom, or even personal growth, Spirit wants to acknowledge how far you have come and wants you to be proud of the progress that you have made. This card is almost like a pat on the back from the universe, and you deserve it. And next up, we have the King of Swords. Now, this is my card of clarity, wisdom, and truth. This could be your own wisdom or an important person entering the situation. Either way, confusion is ending, decisions are becoming easier, and truth becomes so obvious that you cannot ignore it. This card also reminds you to trust your intuition. So your intuition never lies. And next up is the Eight of Wands. Now this is a fast moving energy, and this could come in the form of messages or opportunities. It's also a card of communication. Some of you may even be traveling, but that might not resonate with all of you. It could just be one or two of you. But I do see traveling and exploring. It almost feels like somebody's putting their foot on the acceleration or the gas pedal, depending on where you're from. So what once felt delayed suddenly starts moving a lot quicker. What I will say with this card is it feels like everything is moving in the right direction, which is what you want. And then we move on to the Empress. Now, this is my card of abundance, growth, and expansion. It's also a card of creation, as this is a very nurturing energy. So I feel like Spirit is highlighting fertile energy here. And that doesn't necessarily mean pregnancy, although it could do for some of you. But more broadly, it's about something flourishing. The Empress just has to wave her scepter and that wheat in front of her grows. So this is definitely a card of growth and, like I said, fertility. So if you guys are not wanting to get pregnant at this time, maybe be careful. Obviously, if you're wanting to get pregnant, then this is a very good time for trying. And then next up is the Two of Swords. Now, there's a challenge here of indecision, but you already know what your heart wants. Your mind is probably still weighing up the options. Now, Spirit says the answer is already within you. You need to trust yourself more and follow your intuition, because our intuition is never wrong. The other thing that I always say about this card is she wants to get to that island behind her, but she doesn't feel like, she feels like there's only one way or another way that she can go. But if she takes a blindfold off, she'll be able to see that she can walk over that water easy enough. The water's shallow, hence the rocks being in it. So it's my card about trusting that there could be another way of doing something. And then lastly, we have the Ten of Cups, which is one of the most happiest cards in the tarot. This is a card of emotional fulfillment, harmony, joy, and contentment. A feeling that life is finally coming together. And for some of you, this is family happiness. For others, it is emotional healing. Or it may just simply be referring to finally finding peace. This is definitely a beautiful card to finish the reading with. So I feel like the overall outcome here is fulfillment. The chapter you're entering feels abundant, aligned, and emotionally rewarding. So Spirit says you are a lot closer than you think to the happiness that you've been seeking. And what a beautiful message these cards told today. Honestly, I don't think you could have picked a better outcome. That was lovely. So no matter which pile you chose today, the message appears throughout all the 3 readings that things are changing and the universe is moving pieces around behind the scenes. So the first pile is experiencing transformation. The second one is healing. And then I would say this last one was experiencing a fulfillment. So I want you to trust what is unfolding, and trust the lessons, the timings, but most importantly, trust yourself. So thank you very much, guys. If this reading resonated with you, please let me know in the comments which pile you chose. I love reading your stories and seeing how these messages connected with your journey. Again, thank you so much for spending this time with me. And until next time, take care of yourselves. Keep shining that light of yours, and I will see you in the next reading. Lots of love and light, guys. Bye for now.